Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show. Hey, welcome in. Second intermission, Guerilla Sports, Off Ice Intermission Edition. Jesse Montano, Meghan Angley here. Brock Nelson gets his third of the season, extends the Avs lead 2-0. Meghan, we said in that first intermission we wanted the Avs to stay in the driver's seat, take control of this game, force Vegas to play the way that they want. I don't necessarily know if this is exactly the way that the Avs have wanted to play. 5 penalties so far, but I think most importantly, Vegas has not been able to get really to their game. And in a game that it has, yes, had 5 penalties, relatively low event from the Avs. What do you think of the second period?
Well, I like that the goal from Brock Nelson comes in under 5 minutes. I think given the way that Vegas plays, they would seize any opportunity that Colorado allows. And so I think it's important for them to build a little bit of that lead early into this game, because you can see the margin for error here is pretty thin too. This is kind of a low event game, and the penalty trouble obviously put them in a difficult spot. I'm sure it's something we'll talk about, but I really love their strength of play on the penalty kill in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's a conversation happening between periods about how they'd like to get to their 5v5 game, but I think even with some of their best penalty killers in the box on some of these calls, they've had a lot of guys stepping up, and you can leverage some momentum from that too, kind of alluding to that in the first period when it was just one of those. I think it started to stack up a little bit, but I overall like the continuity too. I think they took the effort of period 1 that I like and sustained it into period 2. So I obviously want to see them even make that push just a little bit firmer, so that they're not getting baited into these penalties in the first place. I think that that's happening because they're defending hard against Vegas. They're battling hard, and that is a credit to Vegas too, putting them in that position where they want to play that way. Obviously, Avs just need to toe that line carefully. So I've liked that fight in that compete from the Avs as well. And I overall like the period, going back to what I said after 1. 2 good road periods for the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah. Let's talk about the goal. Actually, hold on. Let me pause real fast and talk about the penalty kill. Parker Kelly. I also thought it was funny what you pointed out there right before the end of the period, Meghan. Vegas is doing a heck of a job of baiting some of Colorado's best penalty killers into taking some of these penalties. So the Avs haven't even necessarily had their best PK units out there in their entirety. It's still looking pretty strong on the PK. Parker Kelly does generate a shorthanded breakaway for himself, doesn't get the goal to go on it, but guys like Parker Kelly, guys like Val Nichushkin, guys like Brock Nelson, having them on the PK, this is something you talked about a couple weeks ago, man, it just gives you that little bit of offensive threat, forces the opposition to have to respect the fact that, hey, you can get going a bit here. Hold on, my wife's calling me. Hey, I'm on a show dressed as a gorilla right now. Can I call you back after? Okay, love you. Bye. The offensive threat of, hey, you have to respect the fact that these guys can get going up ice, and we can't just expect them to grab a puck and dump it 200 feet. I think that's big. Brock Nelson is one of those guys. Suddenly, Meghan, he's starting to heat up a little bit. Gets sprung on a breakaway. Nice bit of finish. 3 goals on the season for Brock Nelson.
Yeah, we had 1 more day left of Brocktober, and I think he recognized he had some ground to make up to close out this month on a high note. And he can have Brovember as well if he'd like to. So don't let me stop a good thing, Brock Nelson. But what I love about this goal is it is born from something that I have shouted out as being a strength of Brock Nelson's game, but you typically don't think of it being an offensive weapon, and that is his smart defensive stick. He springs this play with a poke check on Barbashev in his own end first, and that puck still gets out to their defensive blue line to Ben Hutton, but he panics and turns it over to Jack Drury, who is able to capitalize on this, turn it into a breakaway opportunity for Brock Nelson, who has the wheels to get ahead of their back checkers and make this into a breakaway goal. So I like that it's born from a strong defensive play in his own end, and just, two opportunistic players then in Drury also reading that moment. Brock Nelson also recognizing that he is about to go on the attack and getting ahead of both Willie Karlsson and Ben Hutton to get that goal. So those are the little things that you can appreciate about Brock Nelson. It doesn't always result in a goal. And I think that's kind of been his problem through this point. But those are still really good reads in his own end that I think help the bottom line. Like in talking about some of the blocks that the team came up with in that first period, some of those come from players with a smart defensive stick in Brock Nelson. It's a huge quality on the kill as well. Like I've loved what Brent Burns has seemed to do well on the penalty kill. And a lot of it is his stick work. So it's those little things that maybe don't always translate offensively. When they do, it's fun, and two, they matter.
Yeah, it's fun and they matter. Hey, that's usually what that's what you're looking for here. Megan, Gavin Brindley exits second period with an injury after taking a really heavy, hard hit from Ivan Barbashev. You can argue that it was a high hit on Gavin Brindley. Gavin Brindley is a bit of an undersized player. And Megan, yes, it's a hard hit. You hope Gavin Brindley's all right. But Megan, he's got to keep his head up. He has been absolutely drilled twice this season when his head is buried looking at the puck. Gavin Brindley's a really intelligent player, skilled player, can play with speed. He's had some grit to his game here. I think everyone has been pleasantly surprised with Gavin Brindley. Kid's got to keep his head up.
Yeah, it's tougher this one. Different from the other hit. I'm trying to remember in what game it was too.
I know it was early and it's already starting to run together.
My brain thinks it could have been Utah. It might not have been. But it was a big player and he was so unaware. I think there was more awareness from Brindley in this play, but just not enough time. And I'm not sure there was a lot more that he could have done to brace for this contact. I do think he needs to keep his head up generally, but I'm giving him, this feels like victim blaming. And so I'm not victim blaming Gavin Brindley for this one. And I just hope that he's okay, because you're right. When you are an undersized player, longevity is important as well. And so I know that he is trying to claw his way into a full-time role by working hard. And he had a breakaway chance before this happened. So I think he was feeling it. And that's where the maturity part of the game will be important too, as he gets older. That I know he wants to make the most of the limited minutes that he gets, but he also has a long future in this league that he needs to protect too. So it's, being present in the moment and feeling that confidence build when he is kind of getting some of those puck touches, but also there are more hockey games to be played. So you got to protect your future too. Yeah.
And like you said, I think you can appreciate the nose for the net, trying to, hey, carry this puck, get to the middle of the ice, get to a scoring position. But yeah, I'm with you. That's a hard, heavy hit from Ivan Barbashev. But I love the way that you just put that. It's a young player. You got to, we talk so much about recovery and the way that these guys take care of their bodies. What are you putting into your body? All that stuff. There's an element of that too, of you got to make sure to take care of yourself within the games as well. Yeah. You hope Brindley's all right. And again, it's not anybody's fault. When you are an undersized player, in addition to needing to, think about the longevity aspect of it, that there is, and again, like we've seen this go the other way with other players, you are in maybe a slightly more vulnerable position from the neck and head area than, a Val Nichushkin, where a guy's got to get up to make that contact, especially when Brindley's, down kind of in a ready position. You can find yourself some vulnerable areas. You hope he's all right. You hope it's the concussion protocol that pulled him out and he can pass and come back into the game. Just a little bit better awareness from Gavin and not only in that play, but just, I love the way you put that of
generally.
Yes.
Because I think, not to tangent too much, but there was a play Landeskog had a hit on Kyler Yamamoto once upon a time. And I felt a little bit torn because Kyler Yamamoto, very similarly sized as Brindley, there also seemed to be, though, a level awareness of the difference between the two players that I find myself looking at Barbashev on this play like just a little bit critically. Like you're aware of how big Gavin Brindley is.
Yeah.
You have enough time to be aware of that. So you maybe get part of that what part of your arm is this?
Elbow.
I don't want to call it full elbow though. Forearm.
Okay,
Get your forearm down or up, but like not directly in contact with his head.
And you do wonder too, and again, this I'm just more thinking about, and I'm not excusing this or saying, but you do wonder a little bit of, does a guy like Ivan Barbashev, who broke Sam Girard's sternum once upon a time, is that a guy that maybe sees some undersized guys?
What do you have against them,
right.
Ivan?
Is that like I can line this guy up kind of a thought process? And I don't know, maybe that is what's going through his head a bit there.
Ooh, I will be casting a spell.
Ooh, it's Halloween too.
Yeah, and his hatred of my short princess.
Just Scott Wedgwood again, another good period. We talked about the penalty kill. You and I have said it before. Your goaltender's got to be your best penalty killer, especially on a night where through 2 periods, Megan, you've already taken 5 penalties. Scott Wedgwood has been good. I don't think he's needed to make any crazy show-stopping saves, but there have been quality chances right in front of the net that Scott Wedgwood's had to be good on.
Yeah, including on that early kill where Parker Kelly had that shorthanded chance. Play came back the other way, and there was a pretty high danger chance with some traffic in front of the net. Scott Wedgwood came up, huge, big block from Brent Burns around that time as well. So I really like the strength of the penalty killers in support of Wedgwood, no matter who's been on both units that they're sending out there. It's been really strong, like big block from Jack Drury on the later penalty kill for that Brent Burns penalty. Gabriel Landeskog draws a penalty with some of that strong play along the boards. And what's funny to me is I don't come away with that power play with anything really positive other than the way that Cale Makar defended back. I think it was Brendan Saad. And earlier on a Barbashev breakaway in the first period, Makar made expert work of it too. So just seeing Cale Makar do those things that are so good defensively that don't get enough credit, I wanted to shout them out through 2 periods.
Yeah, no, I love it. And let's wind this one down here, Megan. Truthfully, for me, I think the Avs, what you've seen through 2 periods, more of the same. Whatever offense you can generate it, get to the front of the net. But you don't need any more goals right here. I want to see a smart period from the Avs where they continue to do the things that have made them successful. And that includes pushing the puck up ice. Again, putting shots on net, following pucks to the front of the net. Keep doing what they've been doing. Close it out. Don't give Vegas a ton of wiggle room here. But that being said, Vegas is going to come out and they're going to push pretty hard. You don't want to see the Avs sit back and just try to defend the lead. What are you looking for in the last 20 minutes here? Last 20 minutes of regulation.
Well, and Vegas is going to be pushing hard, and they've already been, and it's baited the Avs into doing bad things. So I want to see the Avs recognizing that they have that 2-goal spot, not taking any unnecessary risks, and then taking penalties as a result. I want them to be smart in their defending, and I like to see them continue the offensive push too. I think Arturi Lehkonen has quietly had a really strong game, especially early with some chances. So I'm not calling an Arturi Lehkonen goal the way I did the Brock Nelson goal, but if there were to be more goal support, it could come from Arturi Lehkonen. I
think you should call another goal out.
I'm too busy cursing Barbashev. Nothing like that would physically bring harm to him, you guys. Just like he's hitting red lights when he's running late, kind of a thing.
Damn, that's a hell of a hex too. Or I guess you said the other day pretty emphatically you wouldn't ever put hexes on people.
No.
Although, wouldn't she though?
No.
Wouldn't she? Will you add that other camera there to the stream down at the bottom? That one that looks like it's of nothing.
His shoulder. Oh shoot!
I thought it was shoulders.
Oh shoot!
Oh, there we go. Oh, now it's coming out of there. What just happened? Oh, I know what happened. There we go. I don't know how much people can hear me, but someone was questioning my ability to dunk in this suit. Oh, does this answer your question? Oh! Does it look like I can dunk in a gorilla suit or not? Because I would say yes. Megan, what would you say?
That was really scary.
Gorilla Sports Off Ice, Intermission Edition. Avs up 2-0.
Maybe the gorilla should be on ice. Maybe he shouldn't be in studio.
All right. In the chat, yes or no, should we take the gorilla suit out to the ice and go gorilla versus goalie Megan?
Goalie Angel.
All right, I can't read any of the comments coming to my glasses.
No one has said anything yet,
Okay,
so
good,
we can go.
All right, that's going to do it.
I think Vaguely said yes.
Gorilla Sports Off Ice Intermission Edition. Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll have some content coming to you guys after the game, not live, but thank you so much. We've been really silly and goofy in here today, and thanks for tuning in 3 separate times to hear all of it. Jesse the Gorilla, Megan the Angel, much more. Not even wearing a costume over here, by the way.
Believe it or not.
That's how she just floats around the office all day anyways. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We got Dan behind the glass today. Third period coming up. Avs, Golden Knights. Avs up 2-0, looking to close it out. See you guys later.